Hey everyone, this is Rob.
Hey, Michelle.
And welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school or RuneScape.
Me.
Man, I almost forgot the intro. But we've been doing this for a while, so luckily it's just second nature at this point.
Yeah, I'm like 173 episodes in. I hope you know it.
Yeah, I was all like, I don't know what I'm saying, then I'll just let my body say whatever it was saying.
Go autopilot.
Anyways, this week up on the docket. We have some very interesting stuff. Big celebration because finally the release of
Gielinor Gazette.
Gielinor Gazette.
It's been a few months.
We've been waiting ever since they said they would release it every month. Over 9 months ago, I'm sure.
I think that was last year.
So we have the Gielinor Gazette. We'll do this in reverse. And then while Guthix sleeps, that's what we've really been hyping up.
He's an EP guy.
Because they didn't have a patch last week because they were working so hard on this quest. And it's still riddled full of disaster, so we'll be talking about that.
That's to be expected, honestly.
And then we will actually be starting off by talking a little bit about Deadman Armageddon. Armageddon?
Yeah.
We actually had a little discussion about how much of this we should go over.
Yeah, there's
so we will briefly go over it. There's a lot to go over. We're not going to go over all of it.
Yeah, it's feedback to the original blog that we discussed before. I was like, we could just read them all really quick. And Robert was like, that will take like 30 minutes. And I was like, yeah, fine.
I went through and I counted just so that I wasn't exaggerating. And there's close to 45 points. There's 44 points of feedback that they've been given since the initial blog that, you know, is strictly feedback. And I don't know if you guys just want us to, like, it'll be 20 minutes of just us listing out the changes word for word.
Listen, if you wish we would have listed it out, comment on YouTube
let
or
us
something.
know.
Or reply on
let us know.
Spotify and be like, you guys are slacking. Why wouldn't you list out 45 things?
Yeah, the reason I didn't think it'd be great to do that is because the second point on here is them asking if they're going to be replacing Sigil of the Feral Fighter with your starting relic. And they're like, yeah, we're going to change it for Sigil of the Formidable Fighter. One, most people, definitely don't remember what the Sigil of the Feral Fighter even did to begin with.
So now we're making this podcast for you only.
No, I'm just saying they don't go through and say like.
Wait, we're still on the docket, bro. What are we doing here?
I know. But
oh my God.
I was just explaining like why we're not going to go over it, and so before we get into anything, let us know if you want us to go into it more. That's fine.
Yeah, we're just not PvPers. I was down to read them all. But it probably would have been very monotone and boring if you're not into PvP.
Because mostly because I don't think either of us would really be able to speak onto these notes besides just telling you the information.
It would just be reading it straight up.
Yeah.
But if you want us to read stuff like that, we can.
That's why I was like, I don't feel like I could do it justice enough. So if you are a PvPer, I'd recommend just checking that out. Or more than likely, you already watch like Torvesta or whoever else does like PvP content. So I'd recommend checking them out because like Sigil the Feral Fighter, changing for the Formidable, increasing proc chance. I don't know what any of this is in relation to.
Stuff like that, I was just going to read it word for word and move on and act like I know what it means when I don't.
Yeah, but that's where we are at with Deadman Armageddon, so we're not really going to go over it.
You're going to go over highlights though, right?
I was going to go over,
some things?
Yeah, I was going to go over like a couple things, but like really if you cared about it, you're just going to go like read it yourself or find someone else that talks about it.
Basically telling you all to stop listening to our podcast.
I mean, I don't want to call Michelle out, but she didn't read any of this. So that's why she's asking if I'm going to go over it.
I read everything else because I'm a working gal now. And I forgot about the new blog.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't have service inside the building I work in, so I have to go outside to look at my phone.
Convenient.
I hate it. It sucks.
But just so you know, that's where we're at with Armageddon. But
next up,
before we get into all of that, we do have a Q&A at the very end of the podcast. And as always, if you want to jump into the Q&A yourself, ask us questions, ask us anything about the game or other games, real life, stuff like that, feel free to jump into our Discord, discord.gg/Bunebape. We do have a question section there, or you can ask on any of our socials, which we'll have linked down below or at the end of the pod.
Someone else asked on Spotify, so reminder, you can ask questions on Spotify as well.
Yep.
I think it's on there.
Now, before we get into the rest of the stuff we wanted to talk to with that, little tidbit out of the way.
Robert, we're already 36 minutes in.
I know. anyways, we don't have a lot to talk about because I'm sure you didn't get any drops. How's it going? Well, we all know you didn't do your agility.
I'm 30K away. I don't know why I don't just do it. I keep forgetting until I go live.
30K is like literally 3 laps.
No, it's not. It is like 30 minutes, though.
Okay, if you had level 5 unlocked, I think it's pretty close to 3 laps.
Oh, of Sepulcher.
Yeah.
Even like a rooftop. And I was like, in what world?
No. Yeah, like if you did all 1 through 5, I don't know how much it is. I just know you get a lot in floor 4 and 5.
Yeah, I really need to level that. I keep forgetting until I go live, and I don't want to do agility on stream because I want to do other stuff.
Yeah.
But haven't gotten any levels, haven't gotten any splits. I did get 12,000 Scurrius KC and rank 32 without the pet.
Nice. That's actually the biggest achievement.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it last week or if it was after we recorded, but I'm now have a less than 2% chance of having gone this dry. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's like 1.9. Yeah, still no pet. And I was like obsessively playing Stardew all weekend and trying to like complete the game because it actually like lets you complete it. I'm at like 80%. And then I tried to cut an apple tree and it broke the server, and Megan can't get the server to work again. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Sad. Yeah, and I'm trying to edit more shorts because, little do you guys know, behind the scenes, I only have 3 more edited. I used to have
30.
like 35.
Nice.
I'm still not used to.
Slacker.
I'm still not used to having so many things to do with podcast, stream, editing, scheduling the shorts, and working. I was telling Robert earlier, like, I literally don't understand how people can just do stuff. And I'm always slacking in one department, but anyway. And on Friday, I did a cosplay stream as a spirit angler, and it was really cute.
Yeah, I thought you weren't going to mention it.
Yeah, I did that, and it was fun. I posted a picture of it.
The same shirt you're wearing right now, actually.
The same shirt. I couldn't find the shirt I wanted to wear today, and I was like, oh, I guess this is work appropriate. So I wore the spirit angler shirt. I posted a picture of it on Twitter, and a random meme page stole my picture and posted it, and like was saying that it wasn't stolen, which was strange.
Very weird.
Yeah, they were saying it to Fem too. They're like, prove it's stolen, and I'm like, Fem's met me. She knows who I am.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
I just blocked them. But yeah, that was really weird. That's the first time it's ever happened to me. Exciting times.
Yeah, you're famous now.
And then next week, I'm not actually sure we're going to do it for the podcast. We need to discuss this. Maybe we'll have an answer on the second half.
We will be doing the podcast.
We will be doing the podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Because we're having
friends in town. That doesn't mean that we're going to be spending 24/7 with them. So we will have the podcast.
Okay, Aloe, if you're listening, Robert just said we're not going to hang out with you on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't even stream those nights.
I know. It's crazy.
Maybe we could get food with him and then record.
Yeah. Or anything else.
Yeah.
But we will record. Don't worry.
Okay, well, see you guys next week then. Anyway, how are you?
Pretty good. I actually don't really have too many updates. I just did a little bit more AFKing at Firewatch Sentinels. Didn't actually get anything worthwhile, so...
Oh, I forgot that you already mentioned your blood shard last week. I was like, you got one.
Yeah, I am highly considering doing the Guthix... New Guthix...
Sleeps.
Yeah, while Guthix Sleeps quest.
Shout out Guthix Rest podcast.
Shout out to them. I actually have almost all of the requirements except for Dream Mentor, which is a relatively quick master quest, and then I'll have all the requisites for the quest.
Ooh.
But I am kind of putting it off on purpose because it is really buggy right now. A lot of issues, and I don't really know what pieces are super worth for me to go for right now. As far as like being an Iron Man goes, so I'm gonna wait a little bit until this weekend, see where I'm at, and then want to do it or not. I've also kind of been putting off doing my fire cape and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you've just been playing other games now.
Yeah, I've been playing other games, and also I haven't. I wanted AFK some more range, before I actually go. I'm only 72. I need to get at least 74 for the new bow that just came out with the quest.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I generally just want it to be higher, so it's a faster fire cape.
Who wants to waste an hour and then you realize you don't have enough supplies at the end or something?
It's not even that. I just don't want to spend 2 hours there. Like,
yeah,
an hour is long enough already. With lower range, I don't want it to be longer, and I don't want to use a ton of enchanted bolts if I don't have to. So, yeah,
cool.
We'll see what ends up happening next week.
Maybe next week.
Yeah. But we can go into a few things that I thought were interesting about Deadman Armageddon. Like I
Yeah,
said, I'm
just
not
gonna
going to go
close my
into
eyes.
the nitty gritty stuff because, again, I don't really know what all the sigils do, but a lot of them were changed. A few things that I do know that I think people are going to be interested in is now in Deadman Armageddon, you are going to have unlimited run. Yeah,
Woo!
so
I
that's
think
pretty
that was
cool.
always the thing, no?
No, it was a rune.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was a Sigil of Stamina and Supreme Stamina. Both have been disabled, so now you will just straight up have unlimited run. That
Out
being
into the
said,
main game.
I know, right? That being said, they do mention that you can still have your run drained by other sigils, for example.
Oh,
So you can still run out of run energy if someone is attacking you with things like Ruthless Ranger or Morrigan's Thrown Axes.
it's very interesting.
Yeah, so very nice quality of life stuff. A lot of this is quality of life stuff because that's the main thing I understand.
If you want me to read any of these, point at them too. I'm trying not to read them because I know how I am, and I'll be like, Robert, read that one.
Yeah.
No, read that one. So I'm like looking down at my keyboard.
Some more quality of life stuff they're adding to Deadman is going to be they're actually going to be auto completing essentially a lot of quests that previously were blockers, such as Desert Treasure 2 and Fairy Rings.
Jesus.
So you're going to have access to the rings because it is only a 2-week long event. So
You don't want to spend your whole time questing.
yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh, we just want to be PvPing. That's the whole event. We don't want to be questing."
That is such actually a short event.
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Very, very quick.
That's surprising.
So because of that, they are going to be skipping a lot of content. I don't know about all of it, but they do mention and highlight here Desert Treasure 2 as well as Fairy Rings should be unlocked. Nature Spirit as well. Fairy Rings Part 1 and 2. And this has, the auto completion has been moved down to levels 3 to 50 bracket. This was changed. So just so everyone knows about that. And the last thing I wanted to bring up is a lot of people.
Only 3 things?
Yeah. I mean, the rest, I mean,
No, I'm
it's
not
more.
gonna look. I'm not gonna
It's
look.
more
It's
stuff
fine.
like this. Like I'm not mentioning that changing the Western Provinces achievement diary from level 5 in all barbarian roles. They're making it so that
Oh, that's actually kind of a good to know one.
Yeah.
Because the area is dangerous. Imagine going to Barbarian Assault and you leave and they just kill you. Your team just murders you.
yeah. So this will be auto completed. For like that's an instance of more stuff that I'm not going to be including. I'm just showing you some. I'm just like talking about some stuff that I thought looked cool, but there are more
Personally,
things like this.
I would have read that one. Anyway,
Okay.
I just won't look.
Actually, I'll also mention that clue scrolls. For anyone that doesn't know, the way that you actually progress in Armageddon is through a points system. And a lot of people were saying that you were getting a ton of points. There is a like degeneration. What's it called? Like
the more you do stuff, the less your points are worth.
yeah, what is that called?
I don't know. Degradation.
Yeah, it is a degradation, but it's
We're degrading the system.
anyways. So as you do more of like let's say Bandos, after you get past a certain point,
They're
then
like, all right, you need to move on.
yeah, then the points received from doing that content is 90% less. So it's essentially like go to a different place. This is super suboptimal unless you need a drop there or something.
I remember that from being a thing last year.
People were concerned because that system wasn't implemented into clue scrolls. So that was a really strong way of getting points throughout Armageddon. So now that system is going to be applied to clue scrolls as well.
Okay.
So you can't just spam clue scrolls if that was your new thing coming into
What I was
this.
gonna do?
And the last thing that I wanted to mention is that the Warriors Guild was a big bottleneck, obviously. Defender, pretty strong. So
Everyone else there trying to PK you, also pretty strong.
literally everyone's on the same like couple worlds trying to go to kill these hill giants. So now they're making it so that there is a significant 8 times drop modifier on all of the first defenders you get. So this is your 9th dragon defender.
You're grinding it.
You're grinding it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that will be a huge quality of life stuff. A lot of these are quality of life stuff, but there are things like changing sigils such as Ruthless Ranger, Menacing Mage, Porcupine, and Well Fed. These have all been changed. I just don't know the relevance of these changes, so I don't want to bog you down with numbers for 5 different sigils that I don't even know if they matter at all.
I just remembered, I think that someone once commented on a short trying to bully me and said that I looked well fed.
Same. Same.
Look, like I'm a prize pig or something.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm
But
sorry, I thought that was funny.
yeah, before I continue to do this any less justice than it deserves, because I know there are people that like PKing, even though we don't. So I'd recommend, again, going over to that blog if you want to see the full breakdown, or I'm sure one of the zillion of PKer content creators will make a video about it soon.
But if you want us to discuss it next time, somehow let me know.
Yeah, let us
me
know
know on stream. Be like, yo, you should read the list.
Yeah, I'm not dedicated enough to like do the research and like go back and be like, oh,
I wouldn't do the
actually?
research. I would just read it and be like, if you know, you know.
No, I just want to let you know that like I'd be down to talk about these as best I can, but I don't want to just sound like an idiot for 20 minutes unless people want me to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it. So we can move on to your favorite thing ever.
EP Guthix.
Yeah,
baby.
he's an EP guy. He's been
Alright.
I saw a funny meme. It's like Guthix sleeps for an eternity, and he gets praised for it. I do it, and they just say I have depression.
I saw one that said like it was like Guthix, and it was a little cat-looking EP drooling on a bed. And then I saw it again today. It's the same cat I showed you, and it said Guthix after the quest, and it was just the EP guy sleeping still.
Yeah, he
That's
really
what the
was.
Guthix woke.
He really didn't care.
All right, so while Guthix sleeps, we will read the fixes and issues after the blog.
There was a lot.
Oh, jeez Louise. All right, I would like to share that I was reading this lore on my break, kind of giggling to myself because I was like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read the lore. I don't care. So this week we are bringing one of RuneScape's most iconic quests to old school. It's While Guthix Sleeps. The incredibly talented Only Trails has summed up our latest quest edition in video format for those who might want something to watch during downtime, which has already happened. Just in life in general, there's a video here on the blog post.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, and are like, you know, if you ever plan on taking time off or being up during any of the downtimes, there was a 3-hour maintenance. So it was a long
They had to
time.
keep watching this video over and over again.
Yeah, so if you plan on doing something like that, taking time off or staying up, make sure to, you know, plan accordingly, because they did mention that before the servers went down.
People
so
always forget though.
they've gone kind of better about making people aware of that. You just have to look it up beforehand.
Cool. So the Grandmaster quest sees you continue the Majorat storyline, hunting down one of the most powerful artifacts in existence while ensuring it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. This artifact is known by many names, most recently the Stone of Jas. Yas. The Stone of Yas.
I read it as Yas this whole time.
Should I say Yas?
Because that's how you say coat in Dutch.
Oh yeah, mein Yas. It has shaped the course of Gielinor's history, from the creation of the first runes to the fall of Zeros. It was last seen at the devastating end of the God Wars, when Zamorak, in a fit of rage, used it to reduce the land of 4 and 3 to the wilderness we know today. Angered by Zamorak's actions, Guthix rose from his age-long EP time and banished the gods. He hid the Stone of Yas far underground, where it can never disturb the balance again. But while Guthix sleeps, nefarious forces have been gathering, the Majorat. Shaped by war and deadly ritual, their plans for the stone can only lead to catastrophe. Facing off against the Majorat is nothing new for dedicated adventurers. At every turn, they seem to grow in power and wage war against the people of Gielinor. In their last attempt, we saw them set to tear Varrock apart with an undead army and defender of Varrock. What are they plotting now? You'll have to play the quest to find out. And there's also a lore video by Poison Potion as well, if you're interested. And that is where you could find out if it's Yas, yes, or whatever it's called.
Who knows?
No one knows.
Who knows?
Click the video, find out, and then you'll know.
Yeah, you could. We do have some requirements that we're going to go through, as well as the quest reward. So if this is a spoiler for you, then move along.
Yep. Come back in 5 minutes.
So some of the requirements for quests are going to be Defender of Varrock, Path of Glofri, Fight Arena, Dream Mentor, Hand in the Sand, Wanted, Temple of the Eye, Tears of Guthix, Nature Spirit, and A Tale of Two Cats, on top of 180 at least minimum quest points total.
Quite a bit.
Yes.
Some skill levels in order to stand a chance against the Majorat are 72 Thieving, 67 Magic, 66 Agility, 65 Farming, 65 Herblore, 62 Hunter, and ability to enter the Warriors Guild.
And what you'll be receiving for all of this hard work is going to be 5 quest points, 80,000 Thieving, 75,000 Farming and Herblore, and 50,000 Hunter, with access to the ancient Guthixian Temple and the Tormented Daemons.
Diamonds.
So yeah.
I'm excited about the XP drops, honestly.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
pretty
some things
cool.
I need to
You
get
can
up
go to Taverley, and that's where you get the quest.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to accept. You just talk to the lady next to the crystal chest or whatever it is.
It's next to the herb store, isn't it? Or the building next to it?
No,
No, it's not. It's like
not
2
even
buildings
close.
off. I'm
Yeah,
crazy.
it's right next to where the chest that you
Yeah.
use your keys at.
I just didn't know there was a chest there.
Oh, really? You never opened it?
I think I have. I'm a liar.
You know
I think I opened it
the
during
tooth
leagues or
half
something.
and the left half?
Yeah.
That's where the chest is.
I would always do the thing where you can make it stronger and open it in Prif.
Oh, yeah, the crystal keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Imagine. Anyway, moving on to Tormented Demons. So as part of this historic quest, we're summoning back an iconic enemy, the Tormented Demons, wreathed in flame and called forth to stop you meddling in Majorat plans. These monsters aren't to be taken lightly. But with great risk comes great reward, as the Tormented Demons have the chance to drop the Tormented Synapse and the brand new Bone Claws. You'll need to collect
Bone saw.
You'll need to collect 2 of the drop Bone Claw and put them together to form the new weapon, the Bone Claws. The Tormented Synapse is a tradable unique drop that can be used to craft 3 new Demonbane weapons: Emberlight, the Scorching Bow, and the Purging Staff. You'll need at least 74 in the relevant skill to craft all 3 weapons. Unlike other craftables, we are not giving you the option to have a skilled NPC craft it for you, which means you are actually going to have to go and level it up yourself. Sorry.
Yikes.
74.
And they're not boostable.
They're not boostable?
It doesn't
Does it
say
that?
here, but they are not boostable.
Yikes. We've developed all 4 new weapons, including the Bone Claws, through community consultation, taking on your feedback and tweaking the stats so each item felt more in line with their positioning. If you would like to go into the weapons for us, Roborino.
I first wanted to talk about the names of the items.
He does not like the names. I like Emberlight. I think Emberlight sounds pretty.
For some reason, they were changed last second.
Were they different?
Yes.
I don't remember.
So, one, the fire claws are called bone claws.
I like Bone Claws because it reminds me of this part in Night Before the Christmas where he's like, says something like Bone Daddy.
Okay.
I don't remember what he says, but I appreciate that.
What
So I
it
like
reminds me and most of the other player base of is that you get bone weapons at like level 10.
At Scurrius, too.
Yeah, at Scurrius too, which is level 50.
I was thinking Bone Claws. I'm like, it's Scurrius's new drop.
Yeah, the last time anyone talked about bone weaponry is the bone dagger and the Dorgishan crossbow.
This guy doesn't know about the bone mace at Scurrius.
I don't know why they didn't call them cinder claws. Call them straight up fire claws for all I care.
Demon Claws.
Demon claws, tormented claws.
Bone Claws.
And then also they changed the name of all the other weapons. Why don't they all have the similar name?
Okay.
Emberlight.
Emberlight, Scorching Bow go together.
Emberlight's
Purging
okay.
Staff?
Yeah, I thought Emberlight was okay. Scorching Bow,
That's okay.
it's okay.
It fits
I
the
guess.
fiery vibe.
And Purging Staff, none of them
That
are.
one sounds like it's like throwing up on you.
Yeah, none of them are super similar. I would have rather all of them been like
Cohesive
Tormented
names.
Light, Tormented Bow, Tormented Staff, or
True.
Cinder Light, Cinder Bow, Cinder Staff, something like that. And on top of that, they don't mention here. This is actually like a really randomly annoying point. I'm gonna go check the feedback just
Make sure
in
it
case.
hasn't been fixed.
Just in case this has been fixed, but it doesn't look like it.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a bug. I'm assuming this is a bug. I'm hoping that they just did this incorrectly.
What is it?
So for the weapon, for the sword, Emberlight, all you need to craft it is a fully charged up arc light.
Yes.
And also, for anyone wondering, it does keep track of how many charges it has used in the past. For instance, if you need 10,000 charges for a fully charged arc light, and you've already used 5,000, it'll actually remember that.
Oh, so you don't have to go
And
get 5K
then you can
more.
charge it with 5,000 additional, and that'll be fine in order to turn it into an Emberlight. You can actually right-click and check your weapon, and it'll tell you how close it is.
Nice.
The way to make a Purging Staff is you just need 74 crafting, and then you can make the Purging Staff. In order to make the Scorching Bow, you need 74 fletching. Which, okay, sure,
Yeah.
that's fine. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. You also need 85 fletching because it requires a magic longbow unstrung.
Okay, I feel like that
If
must
you're an Iron
be
Man,
that must be an
obviously.
issue because their whole thing is 74, 74 for all of them.
And you know what's a bigger kicker for this, which is why I think it's a bug. is because there's no place to acquire an unstrung short or long magic bow.
Oh, you have to make it.
You have to make it.
Which means-
Except the new mobs, the tormented demons, drop an unstrung magic short bow.
Oh, but you need long.
And on the wiki it says short bow, that you need a short bow to upgrade it, but people have made it and you need a long bow.
Oh, okay. What I think is that they meant to make it drop longbows, and
Yes.
it is the requirement,
Yes.
though. Okay.
That is what I think as well.
That's funny.
And also it's 5 tick,
Yeah.
so it's same as a longbow. So I think it's currently bugged creating the scorching bow, and as an Iron Man, that's really annoying because 85 fletching is really high.
We're hoping it's bugged at least.
Yeah.
We don't know that for sure.
For me personally, that is really high because I don't know why I've had the hardest time leveling prayer and fletching on my Iron Man.
Because you need 1 billion inventories of each.
It's just so much bank standing.
Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, and so much wood cutting. But yeah, so I just wanted to tell you about that. I'm not going to go over all of the weapons and stuff like that. I mean, we've gone over them before.
And we could just read what they wrote about them under.
Yeah, just so you know, the arc light, the ember light, is very, very good. It gets 70% increased accuracy and damage against demons, if you didn't know, and it is corrupted essentially, so you will never run out of charges ever again.
And that 70% increased accuracy, that's its special attack.
No, that's a special effect. It has an additional special attack.
Oh, I read it wrong.
Yeah,
Thanks.
77 attack
I
to
was
wield
like, let's chill. No, it's actually really busted.
it. Very good.
Wow.
Speaking of very busted, the purging staff also very, very good. The special attack is really not too interesting, but the special effects from the staff are really, really good. So it doubles the Demon Bane bonuses of Demon Bane spells.
Yeah, which I think we'll get into a little bit more lower as well. They do get more into detail on that.
I don't like what their explanation is. Mine's better. But
Okay.
mostly because they don't go over this. So that seems pretty good in general. But it also doubles the effect of, let's see if they mention it here. Do you think they mentioned it?
I don't know.
Purging staff. Let's see.
Doubles the bonuses. Additionally, has a special attack.
Nah, they don't mention it here.
Okay, are you just gonna make up lore?
No, dude. So if we go to
He's
the
making something up.
Arceus spellbook.
Okay. Oh, does the spell automatically like already give a pretty big bonus or something?
No. So Dark Demon Bane hits for 30, and you can boost it to 53 using Mark of Darkness.
Oh, so even
This staff doubles the boost of Mark of Darkness.
Do we think it's gonna get changed a little bit? That seems a little too
It
good,
is
no?
very strong. So for just a straight up number standpoint, if you are 82, you can hit for into easily the 50s on a demon.
That just seems like it's an issue.
It is very, very strong. So if you are fighting any
Weird.
demons, Duke, this is probably going to be best
Duke's
in
not
slot.
a demon. You mean
Duke,
Krill?
Duke is a demon.
Is that your personal opinion, or is he
No,
actually a
if you
demon?
actually go and check out demonic creatures, I looked this up all day. So Sire's on there, obviously, all the other
500
demons,
times.
as well as Duke.
I like the way that you said it, though. You're like, Duke is a demon.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah, so that's it's probably going to be best in slot at Duke.
Insatiable Bloodveld so pink.
Insatiable Bloodveld.
That's gross.
For also for Krill, of course. Any of the other demons you might be going against, Greater, Lesser, Black, all of those demons.
Cool.
This will likely demonic gorillas and probably, I mean, I'm guessing the tormented demons are also demons.
Surely.
So yeah, it is going to be very, very strong at any of those mobs, and it
Duke's
also
a demon.
gets a lot of accuracy bonus as well.
Cool.
So yeah, I've read that this is very, very, very strong.
Okay.
And then lastly, we have the bow, Scorching Bow, 77 range, and the special attack isn't too interesting unless maybe you're using it for PvP, because it does give you a 5-tick bind as well as burning a player, a 20-tick bind as well as burning a demon.
That's cool.
So, and also on top of that, if you are fighting a demon regularly, it gives you 30% increased accuracy and damage. This is the one that I was most
Seems like he'd be so good at Krill. You just like bind him.
I
then
mean,
you
I
can
guess so,
switch
but
gear.
you can already bind him with other spells.
Well, I use spells against him, but it doesn't always hit. Like, it actually doesn't hit a lot.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't even. Yeah, I mean, this might be really good at
Yeah.
Krill because this will allow you to be on the other spellbook. I didn't mention that in order to use the Purging Staff, you have to be on the Arceus spellbook
Yes, you do.
for it to actually work. It does give you 10% bonus damage, but you don't have access to any of the freezes or anything like that. So this would allow you to use freezes or whatever you might use on top of using the Scorching Bow. So maybe this would be good at Krill.
Could be cool.
Um, I know the other two are good, Emberlight and Purging
Yes.
Staff. This one I was less sure about, so I actually did a little bit of like simulation and stuff like that.
You could tell he's been slow at work recently.
Yeah, I did this at work. I did a little bit of simulations. This isn't in the DPS
Calculator?
or calculator wiki thing, so I used what was closest that's already in the game, and I found that the closest item in the game was the crystal bow, the regular old crystal
Okay.
bow. It's actually extremely similar. So that being said, this is actually pretty close to the damage of a crystal bow. If it's against a demon,
Even
this
better.
is pretty close to the damage of a Bofa with the armor on.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is very, very good. If you're like for me, for example, if you're upgrading to this over like an MSB, it is like way better. It is leaps and bounds better. So it is worth grinding for it. Is
Cool.
the main thing I was concerned about.
So bow is the one that sounds the best.
No.
What sounds the best to you?
Probably the Emberlight, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, or maybe the Purging Staff.
I'm
not sure.
intrigued by the bow the most strictly for Krill reasons.
Yeah,
Just the binding sounds really nice.
mostly because the Emberlight still has the special attack that lowers the opponent's strength, attack, and defense by 5% plus their base level,
Jesus.
with an increased effect against demons, and it's 50%, so you can use this twice. So it's kind of like a BGS early on.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's best, strictly because of that, honestly. I was doing more research on the Scorching Bow because I wasn't sure if it'd be worth it for me to grind or if I should just stick with what I have. But
Yes.
I think it's good enough that it's worth grinding out to put off my Bofa prison grind.
Okay.
But yeah, that's they do go and pretty much tell you the exact same thing that I told you, but in
Yes.
slightly less detail. If you want to read up on that.
If you want to read up on the bone claws, I got you, bro.
Come on, what's this name, dude?
I like it. So the special attack for the bone claws, it's only 30%, which is kind of nice, but you could deal up to 135% of damage over 3 hit spots, and each roll of accuracy has an increased chance to inflict burn. So the damage rolled is similarly to that of the dragon claws, and the burn is rolled for each hit spot. So the chance to inflict the scales depend on the successful accuracy roll from 15, 30, and 45% respectively. Okay. So as the declaws are remaining in chambers, we want to develop a new set of claws that match the rush of landing the originals. The bone claws also bridge the gap in melee spec weapons between the cheap and cheerful dragon dagger and the monstrously expensive declaws. You'll find that the tormented demons drop the singular bone claw, and you'll need to collect 2 in order to make the claws. This weapon works much the same as the latter, while giving you a chance to inflict a burn on your target, as I said. So while burned, the target will be dealt 10 damage over the course of 40 ticks, which is kind of not much. But this effect can stack up 5 times, which makes it more worthwhile.
Yep.
So that's like 500 new uniques just from this quest.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of a lot, though. 4.
It's funny because a lot of people are able to sell these tormented claws for just one, anywhere between 50 and 90 million GP.
Villain was killing them, got the drop and tallied out. Didn't get the drop.
Oh.
Didn't get the money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
And Villain's always giving me grief, being like, you know that you could go 20,000 scurries without getting the drop. So then when we said that, I was like, did you know that you could go 20,000 before getting another, by the way?
Yikes. Yeah, you can sell. People were selling them for anywhere from 50 to 90 mil, which is funny because 90 mil is the price of regular D-claws, but people were paying twice as much for
I mean, they just want to look cool because they have the new thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have heard the main thing is there was 2 things. Oh, okay. So whenever this item was brought, they did adjust it slightly and reduce the stab bonus by nearly 20.
I don't know why you would need to stab you, but
Yeah, unfortunate because now it is primarily a slash weapon with less, with less accuracy than before, making it slightly worse. On top of that, the thing that does make it arguably worse than the DDS still is the fact that it's a 30% spec and not a 25% spec.
No, DDS is 50. Oh, Dragon Claws is 50.
Yeah. So a lot of people with early testing, definitely not thorough, are still saying that the DDS is more than likely better DPS than the Bone Claws.
We're not considering the swag factor.
That is true.
You'd probably look way cooler with claws than you do with a little DDS.
I don't know. Poison plus DDS looks pretty cool when you're switching it around.
I do want a tattoo of a DDS.
Yeah,
I can't judge it. I should get a tattoo of Bone Claws.
Also, the swag factor, a lot of people have been photoshopping the claws to look like they're made out of candy corn because they kind of look like that.
I haven't seen them yet, and I'm looking forward to it.
They kind of do look like candy corn.
The candy claws.
They should have called them the corn claws. Look at just from here.
They look like candy corn. And why does it only have 2 talons?
Yeah, it looks a little goofy. So, I would, if you're wondering about buying them or grinding for them, as an iron, I'm not going to grind for them. They might be good, but definitely not good enough to grind for.
They're like chicken talons.
If you have a DDS, just keep with the DDS.
Oh my god. Anyway, shall we discuss the issues and what's been fixed?
There's been a lot of fixes and a lot of issues, guys. For instance, the servers...
They're not even necessarily related to the quest either.
Yeah, this isn't even mentioned, but the servers for like a lot of Oceania were just like annihilated. Like they didn't work for a long time.
That's rough.
And people had to connect to, really laggy EU servers, so that kind of sucked to begin with. On top of that, there was just a lot of things that stopped working whenever this update went through. It was a really hectic day for a lot of people.
Yeah, probably had a lot of work going on over at Jagex.
Yeah.
Guess you should have hired me when I applied.
Yeah, so to start off with, a lot of the Perilous Moons bosses had become invisible.
And we're stuck like that.
Yeah. Also, speaking of the Perilous Moons, the Eclipse boss specifically was invincible, being stuck at 1 HP forever.
I wonder how long you'd sit there being like, I keep not hitting before realizing.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
God, that is a hilarious one, I'm not gonna lie.
Besides that though, Sapphire bolts were hitting Muspah extra hard. All of these have been fixed so far. The Chaos Altar was randomly single way combat. Because you do go there in the quest, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah. There's also an air with the burn damage effect with tormented demons and demonic gorillas. Sorry, I said tormented demos. They had a typo there.
Oh.
Demos.
There we go.
I thought that was silly. Threw me off what I was reading.
A bug with the courtroom during King's ransom quest was causing players to just log out.
Oh, being unable to speak to witness or log out. That's so funny, man.
Yeah, like you had to just close your game.
Other ones that are fixed so far, and then we'll read the ones that are not. Players are incorrectly able to safe spot tormented demons. Oh, I wish they didn't fix that. That would have been such a good time to grind it.
Yeah. And also, Black Knights have been stuck in the wall. This is going to be fixed. This is going to be fixed next week. It's just a dude like sitting in the wall.
That's so funny.
And also, before I forget, you do fight some Black Knights, and they do have some really cool armor. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but they do have cool armor that reportedly has prayer levels equivalent to proselyte.
Spoilers,
so you might have a cool looking proselyte side grade.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah,
okay.
Most people just throw it away, which is totally fine. You don't really need it after the quest, but if you want some swaggy looking proselyte, maybe keep it.
All right. What else? They've also fixed a bug causing tormented demons to swap aggro to other players. The Dark Squall has been found to deal the incorrect amount of damage, and the Scorching Bow stats are showing the incorrect range strength.
Wait, where's the one about the tormented demon? Oh,
yeah.
Yo, this was one of the most atrocious things I've seen today.
That must be so annoying. It's almost dead. You're about to kill it and then swap someone else.
No. What happens? This was actually whoever programmed these It was not good. So, for instance, multiple spawn in one room, and they are wildly aggressive. So
They're
there's plenty
demons.
of videos of this happening. There's 2 or 3 in a room, and there could be you and another person each fighting their respective demons. One will die, spawn up, and then start attacking the other dude, not you that's right next to it, and then you cannot attack the demon
That's really
once
annoying.
it starts attacking them.
You're
So
just
it's
kind of
like
staying there watching.
so it's like the demons have multi-way combat and you have single-way combat. It it was a catastrophe. It was really really not good. A lot of players
We're not happy.
were not happy, and I could see why, because they were just getting like double or sometimes triple teamed by mobs that they thought were getting fought by other people. So
One more thing that's been solved by hotfix though, players have reported losing their elite black armor collected from the wardrobe upon dropping it. So you'll now see a warning when you're about to drop the items, and if you already have, you can find it easier to farm from the Black Knights. I'm assuming that's what you were discussing.
see,
And so there's, I think, one more that has not been fixed. An issue where bone claws are not being protected, aren't protecting expected. They're not being protected how they should be, is what I think they meant.
yeah, this is gonna
So
be
it's just
cold
sentence.
fixed soon, so maybe just don't go PKing with them right
With
away.
your little, what is it called? Candy corn claws.
Also, this was something I was concerned about, but apparently the Scorching Bow stats were getting shown incorrectly. I don't know if that means that they
I already
were.
said that one.
No, but I was going to expound upon it.
Oh, okay.
In that, like, I don't know if this means that it was just being shown incorrectly or what, because it was definitely not showing the range strength at all. They have
Weird.
40 range strength, and it just said 0. And people also
This sucks.
they did report that it was hitting low, so hopefully this means that it should be hitting appropriately now. But
Okay.
it's hopefully been fixed.
That's a very funny one. I like that.
Yeah.
On to some cutesy news. We have, or not we, but RuneScape has some new Discord emotes. So to celebrate the launch of While Guthix Sleeps, they worked with the community creator Jordbear to bring a suite of new OSRS and While Guthix Sleeps emotes to the official Discord server and Twitch channel. There's also some links to Jordbear's work on her website and her Twitter, which are both on this blog post. I don't know if she does commissions, but like these are pretty freaking cute emotes.
Yeah.
I think that they're adorable.
They're pretty cool.
I really like the Tormented Demon Gigatrad, just like a weirdly sculpted demon.
And then the Tormented Demon candy corn.
Okay, and Hazelmere yapping. Oh, these are cute. It doesn't look like candy corn in the picture.
No, it actually
Good
looks
for her.
cool.
Yeah, it actually looks cool. And then 2 secret ones that I'm assuming relate to spoilers. We also wanted to have a set of core emotes that encapsulates both RuneScape classic vibes and more recent favorites. You guys, there's some really freaking cute emotes.
And they put us in the game.
The Cappy Crown?
There
I
you go.
love him. And the Stray Dog Sag? Oh my god. These are so cute. Oh, people are definitely going to add these to 7TV. Xanic Monka, Gnome Child Stare. These are cute. Baron Hypers. I really like these emotes.
Yeah, all of them were pretty cool. They had a launch stream that will be having been done by now, but
Yes.
hopefully a lot of these issues are fixed tomorrow.
And you can go watch the VOD, I'm sure, if you're interested in watching that.
Yeah, overall, it seemed to be like a okay quest.
I haven't done it yet. I'm going to start it tonight. I'm really hoping to finish it before we finish recording tomorrow. Probably won't, though.
I haven't done it yet, obviously, but from what I've seen, I've seen other people say this, and I kind of agree based on what I've seen, is that this is kind of a nostalgia labeled Grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you think about the other Grandmasters in the game, they're
Harder.
They're strenuous and arduous
Yeah, because
and
I was
difficult.
asking in Discord, like, how long does the quest take? Because I was curious. And people
it's
were like,
not super
2 to 3
long.
hours. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, DT2 was taking me like 7 hours.
Yeah,
So
it's not super long, and it's really not that difficult. There's like
Okay.
2 fights, and I mean, they're not hard. Like I said, there's
from
no
what he's seen. We haven't done it yet.
there's no combat requirement for this quest.
Oh.
I mean, you just have to have access to the Warriors Guild, so there's really not much of a requirement.
Okay.
So the mobs aren't too difficult, and the rewards are also not too good. So I guess I really think it should have been a regular master.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they did it because the old one was Grandmaster.
Okay. Probably, honestly.
Also, tell me what you think like let us know. I don't think the bow looks good.
I haven't even seen it. I'm gonna look it up. I don't think that the claws look good. That's for sure.
The claws definitely don't look good.
The claws look goofy. I'm sorry, but the drawing that the girl did was like way better, and you should design it like that. It looks fine. I thought it would look more fiery.
Yeah, I was like, that's
it
why
looks
I'm
like black and white
I'm
and red.
concerned because the bone claws, even though they don't have fire in the name, are made of fiery claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Emberlight looks dope.
Yeah, the Emberlight and the purging staff both look really good.
Okay. Yeah, the scorching bow, it just needs to look more fiery in my opinion.
Yeah, the bow.
Oh, the staff looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, the bow and the claws just are really not doing it.
It's
for
like
me.
they're the same color scheme, but they need like something to make it actually
They're
look.
They're not fiery.
Yeah,
they're
even
not
though
fiery
they're
at all.
technically the right colors,
They're
they don't look fiery.
Being made of the flesh of a demon on fire.
That's gnarly. Oh my god, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He spawns in a ball of flame.
I don't know that. You sound like that meme where like she comes down in a bubble. Wait, what is the? I ruined it. Never mind.
Yeah, that was not good.
Anyway.
If you want to get some pins, get some pins. They have some cool ones.
So we have a Tormented Demon, Lucian, Brove, and Surok Magus. I only know one of those people.
You're going to be really sad. This isn't the case, but so many people have said that Broav should be a pet.
He's that little guy?
The little dude.
He's really freaking cute. Obviously, I was thinking that. And he... Look at his little face.
Yeah, you can set him down, or you don't set him down, but he's just there chilling, and he looks like he's just a little dude.
They have the meme where someone's saying, "I've only had Broa for an hour and a half, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself."
Yeah.
I like his little face. Okay, that's cute.
Also, a lot of people were
This thing
kind
looks
of
cool, this demon-y thing.
they were kind of clowning on Lucian.
Hey, which one's Lucian?
The skeletal mage.
I thought that's the one I just complimented.
Lucian apparently is incredibly powerful, but it's funny because I've seen images of him from RuneScape 2 whenever the original quest came out.
Yeah.
He looks so much cooler in RuneScape 2. It's not even close.
No, that's the RuneScape 3 version.
Yeah, not the RuneScape 3 version. The RuneScape 2 version looks cool. He's like a dark, scary wizard guy.
Yeah, for some reason I'm having a very hard time finding him.
In the Majorat line that we're doing, he's not as cool looking.
Like this version, which is him wearing a little like cloak.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You have to look up the I'd look up the While Guthix Sleeps Lucian cutscene. If you do want to see it from RS2.
Okay. These are some very cool and detailed looking pens though, actually.
Yeah.
I really like them.
All right. It is the next day.
Hello.
Thursday.
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Neither of us.
Well, with us.
Yeah. Neither of us had anything new, but there was an update to all of the patch notes we just went over, so we'll quickly go over that after we finish the rest of the remaining patch.
Yeah.
Which we're actually going to be just going right into the Pride event, which is over now.
R.I.P. Pride.
Yeah, it is the next month, which means Pride Month is over, so the Pride event is as well, but obviously we'll probably just wait till next year.
Yeah, you can still find Circuit Breaker hanging out with Gilbert in the Glade, and he can give you any past year supplies from rewards, but he's holding back on this year's, so you're going to have to wait till next year to get this year's stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's holding back this year.
No one knows, but anyways,
Whatever.
Come back next June if you wanted the capes and stuff from this year.
Yeah, the cape wasn't my favorite.
They also have a little bit of an update for Deadman Armageddon, just letting everyone know that it is going to be Friday, July 19th, so it's just around the corner, so expect to watch some pretty cool PvP content.
Or go play some cool PvP content. This Deadman is actually, I'm not a PvPer, but I love games with like super fast XP and stuff, so I kind of think Deadman's fun for that.
Yeah, if anyone isn't super familiar with Deadman, it is a limited time event, 2 weeks long. It's going to have rapid progression with increased rates for everything, drop as well as XP. Game-changing sigils, breach-based battlegrounds. They increase the amount of breaches this time around, and numbers going up. Also, there's going to be all-out chaos and PvP everywhere that you can imagine.
And cool cosmetic rewards.
Yes, very cool cosmetic rewards. If you want to see the rewards, I'd recommend going and checking out the blog. Also, they have it in the Gielinor Gazette that we'll be covering in just a minute as well.
Yeah, I'll probably mention those rewards again.
Yes, we definitely will. So, also,
This
they
was cool.
mention OSRS for the first time ever at Summer Games Done Quick, or SGDQ, which is a incredibly popular charity organized event that happens. I think every year, and there's multiple different ones a year. This isn't the only one that happens a year, but what happens is people get together and they play games really quick. The whole point is for speed running, and you donate money for certain goals, and all the money goes to an organization called Doctors Without Borders.
Cool.
It always has, and it's for people that are less fortunate in other countries that need medical care.
Yeah, this is the first time the OSRs has ever been a part of this. They had a cold one going to represent us and doing a Chambers of Xeric challenge mode solo with a time of 29:35.
And the whole time they were wearing mole slippers.
I wonder if it's the same mole slippers I have. I didn't look yet. I heard about the mole slippers and I literally thought people made in game.
Yeah, it was in game.
I was just gonna say I thought people made in game.
It was in game.
Wait, that's cute. I didn't even realize. I think that we met a cold one last year.
We did. Yeah, we did.
So I know someone who's like been a part of this event.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that was really cool. Shout out to them. And I'd recommend
Yeah.
just watching Games Done Quick in general. It's usually a pretty enjoyable event. You can see people do like set world records and stuff like that. And generally, it's just a good time.
So cool. All right, next is the cookbook. We got some like little updates on pictures of people's like beautiful creations that they made. I did not realize there's an infernal sauce, and they got a little sauce container that looks like the potion pot things.
Yeah.
These are cute. Some of these foods actually look so good.
They
Like,
look
I'd
like
be interested in trying.
The sauce is in like a little vial, kind of.
Yeah, it looks adorable. But yeah, there's some pictures of some food.
It was funny because looking at these potions reminds me of a meme that we saw, or that was on Reddit the other day. And it was actually pretty popular, so it's funny. It was like, they're all like, oh, you have 3 wishes from a genie. And he's all like, all right, I want potions to moan every time you open them.
Ew.
And he's all like, all right, there's 4 rules.
The one that I really want is that cake. Personally, if they did like the classic cake, it'd be so fun to do these and make them vegan, honestly.
It's funny because they did a recipe for the cake from RuneScape. But the cake from RuneScape is actually, I'm almost certain, taken inspiration from a Victorian sponge, which is a real recipe that is like common in the UK. So
Yeah,
it's
but doesn't look quite like it.
it's like a recipe of a recipe of a recipe at this point.
There's a picture of this cheesy baked potato, and bro, I don't even know. I have seen like 700 people repost this potato pretending that's theirs. Like, I don't even know who to believe that it is.
Yeah, apparently it was from Hannah Banana 88. Who knows?
Strong name. That's actually a really cute name.
True, except for maybe the 88.
But yeah, it'd be really fun to do these.
But
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
hopefully that's just their birth year.
Yeah, who knows? But that's it. It looks really cool, I guess. So if you're interested in some recipes and stuff like that, I don't really follow cookbooks or anything like that, but this, I mean, looks good enough, I guess.
Yeah, I just think it'd be cute to make our own versions of it.
Yeah. Some
But
other
will we?
changes.
No.
No, definitely not. As far as other changes go, these are some of the ones that they said they were implementing from last week, this week, and that includes the removal of Laren's keys from zombie pirates. This is unless you are on task, so yeah.
Okay. We fixed a bug where Nexus minions could take burn damage whilst invulnerable.
Yeah. Also, they did slightly increase the quantity of cannonballs to compensate for the removal of Laren's keys.
Okay.
Let me not forget that. Also, when you put sandstone into the desert grinder, your progress is now output via a game message instead of the guy just yelling your number. He'll also call you out to warn you if your grinder is full.
Okay. We added audio feedback to some buttons on the GE offer menu.
And also, the agility shortcut is no longer listed twice in the skill guide. There was one that was listed twice.
And finally, you can now collect herblore supplies from the Perilous Moons dungeon faster. It's actually kind of cool.
It was actually already pretty fast, so I don't know
It
why they needed
was,
that.
so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Overall, that was pretty funny. It's funny. Did you know that? So the sandstone grinder, the guy there is named. I forgot his name, but Drew.
It's right there.
Okay. This is actually a direct reference to Darude Sandstorm, the song, the EDM song.
I don't know if I know that song.
Oh,
Sing it to me real quick?
Everyone knows the song.
Sing it to me.
No, I will not sing the
Twerk
song
to
to you.
it. Twerk to it, and I could like tell by the rhythm of your butt.
All right,
what
I'll do
it
it. I'll
is.
do it later. But Yeah, so it's kind of funny. It's a direct reference to that. Pretty much everyone knows the song. You do too. You just don't remember it.
Supposedly.
And also, it's Zerker loadouts for PvP arenas.
Cool. All right, and now the other changes from this week. Why'd you close that tab, you
Oops,
silly
I
little
just
goose?
closed your other tab too.
Stop closing everything on my
I just
computer.
closed all your tabs.
There's
Yeah,
more updates.
I forgot we had updates.
It's just closing the entire window here.
Yeah, just closing everything.
All right.
Oh, we're actually not even recording. Just kidding.
Oh my god. Okay, thankfully it's only been 7 minutes. That wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah. Anyways, this
God,
whole
that
thing
triggered me. Remember when I had gluten on and I didn't have an hour and a half of.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
I'm still
embarrassing.
so sorry, gluten girl.
We do have a feedback update though. So this was an update from July 11th today. They updated it this morning because there was kind of a bit of a fiasco, if you will. So
I didn't know about any of it.
yeah, so 20 minutes into their Q&A little stream that they were going to have, they actually never had it and just turned off the stream.
They decided to postpone it.
And decided that they weren't going to do it.
They're going to do it.
Yeah.
But not today.
They gave good reason, I mean, good enough reason, saying that at this stage they weren't comfortable hosting a Q&A that they couldn't give competent answers to. That essentially is what it boils down to. That's what they say here.
Honestly, I think that's fair. Because everyone just be like, why is this bugged? And they'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, the lack of the Q&A along with a lot of the negative, continual negative feedback over the last day or two has not boded well for just overall in general for the health of the game and for this patch. So the mods decided to not have the Q&A because they didn't feel like they had good enough answers for the questions they knew we would ask.
That's good, though, that they're being open and honest about that.
Yeah.
And also, remember, don't go and cyberbully mods or anyone, please.
Yeah.
About this.
They do have a thing that says later on.
Do they?
That they don't want people like singling out certain mods, especially because certain mods that are getting singled out didn't even work on this project apparently.
That's why it's so frustrating. People like will start lashing out mods, and I'm like, you're just choosing a random person that's mod in their name. Like they probably had nothing to do with this project.
Yeah.
And even if they did, there's no need to be rude.
Yeah, it's never okay to single them out. This has happened time and time again because this community is great. So just make sure that you know that this is a game and none of this actually matters.
Okay. Next, moving on to loot tables. As we have with the most releases of date, we opted for a more cautious loot table than an overly generous one. This
was a terrible sentence to write.
This has worked well for us in the past and something we'll continue to do. But that being said, we hear you loud and clear. The Tormented Demon loot tables need some work. We'll be taking the time to get this right and making sure that we're making a decision that's well informed by data as well as your feedback. We'll be looking to speak in more detail on these next week when we have more data points for factors like kills per hour and or unique prices. It's also worth pointing out that some of the intricacies of the demon shield mechanics and ways to really maximize your damage output and kills per hour don't seem to be particularly widespread. We're especially interested to see how the unique rates stack up as people get more efficient with their kills or start taking on multiple demons at once.
Yeah, so just to break this down...
They're saying you guys aren't good enough, you're supposed to be killing them faster.
No, just to break this down a little bit, there are mechanics to these mobs that a lot of people don't know.
Oh, by the way, I still haven't done the quest.
Yeah. Me neither. But I have, like, you know, read a lot about them. There's a lot of feedback going on to help people out with this. So this is based on what I've read. Mm-hmm. That being said, before I get into that, it is funny that they start off this paragraph talking about how they opt for a more cautious loot table when Fever Spiders and Zombie Pirates came out less than a month ago. Or maybe a month ago, I don't know.
Fever Spiders have been out for a long time.
Not their updated loot table.
They've always had the rune, they just didn't have the herb before. It was like a best kept secret type situation, I think.
No.
Okay, well, I don't care. Just continue.
No.
I don't care.
I mean, that's, definitely not the case. But, so it's kind of funny that obviously they've been out for a while, but their loot tables have not been well adjusted until very recently. So it is kind of funny that they're saying that they are more cautious when that's not always the case.
Maybe there's a big content.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, it is funny because there is actually a really important thing that a lot of people don't seem to know about Tormented Demons is after their Demon Shield mechanic, you actually have a increased attack speed as well as a plus 100% accuracy on your attacks,
Oh.
and your attacks deal additional damage.
Okay, huge.
So people have found this to be really great for
Went to spec, maybe?
when to spec, but more so when to purposely bring an extremely slow, hard-hitting weapon.
Oh, because it doesn't matter the speed. You're going to hit really hard.
So for instance, I don't know, we don't know exactly all the intricacies of it yet so far, or at least I haven't been able to, suss out anything, but some people are saying that it works specifically well with smash type weapons.
Oh.
That being said, some people say that specs with God Swords work extremely well here, especially the SGS, because obviously you get health and prayer back.
True.
People have said that you can hit for like up to 90 something with an SGS spec, and people
Okay.
have recorded themselves hitting over a 140 with a Darox single health bomb. That being said, you can still get hit immediately
prayer,
after,
right?
so you can die very easily. That was just kind of a test.
That's
But
crazy.
and these mobs do have around, I think, like, what is it, like 600 health or something like
I
that?
have no idea. I haven't been looking up spoilers. Everything you're telling me is news to me because I want to be a little bit surprised whenever I do it.
I think it might be 400 health. It's a lot of health. So these hits are really big, but I mean, they do have a lot of health. So,
Uh-huh.
but that is a mechanic that a lot of people don't know. We don't know if it, or I don't know, I haven't tried it, obviously, if it works with a scythe, for example.
I was thinking
Because
declaws.
if you're able to get 4 nearly max hits with a scythe, that's going to be a ton of damage. And this only works for a single hit after this demon shield mechanic.
You gotta make it worth
All
it.
the other hits take reduced damage. So,
Okay.
yeah, make sure that that's what they're referring.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's directly what they're referring to here. That not all their mechanics are discovered. But
Cool.
So yeah, keep that in mind if you decide to go there.
Okay. And they do clarify again, we will be looking carefully at loot tables and plan to make changes in line with your feedback once we're armed with better data. And they're always open to making changes when necessary. This is no exception.
Yeah, I mean, it is fairly difficult, and I think I have seen a lot of sentiment around them saying, or around people giving feedback. Like, I know it's really easy, and I think it's kind of like a low hanging fruit take to be all like, oh, their drops are worse than, like, I've seen it compared to literally men at
Oh.
like Edgeville. Like you get more GP per hour killing men, or more GP per hour killing the elite Black Knights during the quest. Pretty much anything in the game gives you more GP per hour because the tormented demons take around 2 minutes to kill if you're in average gear,
Wow.
1 minute if you're in like best in slot gear.
That's like a boss.
It is a long time, and their average drop is around 7,000 GP, and that's getting propped up by the dust that they drop, like the infernal ashes or whatever. Those are worth 3K. So they're
Yeah.
really not dropping anything of value besides, it's like 7K, but if you include the rare drop, it goes up to 170K because of how expensive they are right now. So I have seen a lot of people, saying and comparing it to like, oh, zombie pirates give you like 2 million GP per hour. But I've also kind of seen even more people saying like, I wouldn't really mind if the demons dropped practically nothing if the rates for the uniques were better.
Yeah. Which we might see a change next week.
Yeah, we might. It's
I think we
highly
will.
likely we will. For anyone that doesn't know, the rates for the synapse is around 1 in 500.
That's what people think.
This is the collective information we have so far, and the rates for the claws are around 1 in 600.
You need 2 of them.
You need 2 of them.
Wow.
It's a someone did the math, and you'd have to be there for right around 5 million combat XP in order to go on rate.
It's like a day of Scurrius.
Yeah, someone also compared the drops to Scurrius. You get much more money at Scurrius.
Yeah, not my method.
But yeah, so all
And-
those are like being taken into consideration, and they're getting passed around the team, and that's essentially what this whole thing.
This is where they write, stop harassing people. They even say, we succeed as a team and we fail as a team. Stop individually rooting, or like choosing people to bother.
Yeah.
We're more than happy for you to be critical of our work as a team, but the repeated targeting of individual team members needs to stop. If you keep doing that, I hope your account gets banned. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's rude.
And they also, I know some people were wondering where Mod Goblin was. Usually they're out there on the subreddit, like, chatting people up, communicating, because there really hasn't been a lot of communication besides the one-off Mod Kieran here and there. And Goblin just said that they really haven't worked on this project, so they, weren't really here
That's so
to,
funny.
you know,
And everyone's
be,
like, they were the main one.
yeah, and so
We don't
that's,
know what's going on.
yeah. I mean, it's nice to have communication, but sometimes you just don't have it.
Yeah. Anyway, a couple of hot fixes that our devs are working on right away. We will be doing a balance pass on the quest combat difficulty compared to other Grandmaster quests. Effectively, we just want to make sure that while Guthix Sleeps stacks up sensibly against the likes of DS2 or MM2 after seeing feedback that it might just be a little too easy at the moment, which is what you said. If we do make changes here, we likely won't go overboard, just enough to improve the challenge a little so it stands better against the test of time, which means I really need to do this quest soon because I just want
Yeah.
to finish it quick.
It's really unfortunate. I don't like this change because I don't think this is the problem. I think this is a weird way to look at the problem. The problem with the quest is that it's labeled Grandmaster, not the
It should
fact
just
that
be
it's too
Master.
easy.
Yeah.
Because a Grandmaster takes you several hours the first time you do
They
it.
just really want to be a Grandmaster, I guess.
And it unlocks something very significant. For instance, demonic gorillas drop the best in slot items in the game. Many of them. So it's like you're comparing that to a pretty much pass over middle of the ground upgrade for most people. And this
Yeah.
should just be downranked to a master
It
quest.
does feel like just more for a nostalgic reason it was marked as Grandmaster because before it used to be.
Yeah, that's I
Which
mean
it's
that's
fine
exactly
to
what
just
it
do it
is.
as master.
You should have just done it as master.
Yeah. They also did hotfix to allow players to use temporary boosts for the crafting requirements of new unique items. Oh,
Yeah.
which yesterday we said we couldn't. Okay,
Yeah, yesterday
cool.
we mentioned that you can't boost. Now you
Now you
can, so
can.
that's nice because the requirements weren't super high, but they were high enough that people wanted to boost for it. So,
Of course.
and then next week they plan on having more posts as well as more fixes, and the fixes that they currently have on the board for next week is there gonna be, yo, did everyone call it or what? So they're changing the name of Bone Claws to Burning Claws.
I wanted to stay as Bone Claws. That's so funny.
Yeah, terrible naming
And
scheme.
it looks like a little candy corn.
They also are adding a teleport item to get you to the Guthixian temple because it is a very long way from civilization. So it'll be much easier to go back to your gravestone whenever you die, or obviously just to get there.
Finally, adding a UI icon when inside the Guthixian temple that shows you how many demons you can tackle at once. This should address some of the confusion that many of you are facing when you're getting attacked by more demons than you intended or haven't been able to find the right areas to tackle your CAs.
Yeah, this was one of the
It's cool
biggest
they added
points
CAs
of
already.
confusion. Oh, that came out with the launch.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
rare. Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah, this was one of the most confusing parts
Oh, yeah.
for a lot of people. This was like one of the highest number of posts I saw relating to Tormented Demons when they first came out, is that people didn't know it was multi.
Everyone thought it was single. I saw people being like, why are most people getting attacked when this is supposed to be single? It never was, apparently.
Yeah.
It just wasn't more clear.
And the fact that these guys still have messed up aggro, and the fact that they get aggroed to people from an ungodly like distance away, further exacerbated how surprising it was.
Yeah. We also have a list of some changes that are further beyond next week. So simple ones first. We're going to allow players to store Broov inside their POH. We're not going to make this adorable little critter a fully fledged pet, but you'll be able to keep your own Broov at home.
Little homie in the
Make
house.
sure to check on him from time to time, or he'll track you down and steal your loot. Good, let him.
So you get your first ever official house homie besides the pet rock.
Wow, the pet rock is still kind of a pet, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean you can set them down.
This is very
I guess
unique.
this is technically the first exclusive pet or house homie.
I bet people are gonna be annoyed.
Maybe.
I think it's cute.
They probably wanted it to be a full-on pet. Also, they are allowing players to use temp boosts for crafting requirements for the new unique items, which
Did you just say that?
I think they already said that. I don't know why they're doing it again.
Allow players to use runes from Rune Pouch for Lucian's Teleorb. Spoiler, he's got a Teleorb, whatever that means. Yeah, I don't know if that
Allows players to store the Dark Squall robes and the Elite Black Armor in their POH costume room. One last thing before I forget about Elite Black Armor.
Oh, yeah.
Is these enemies technically do count as Black Knights. So if you are going to do your Falador Elite Diaries, these,
you have to get like 500, right?
these enemies count as 12 KC each.
I would have saved so much time.
And their drops are actually pretty good.
I saw they were dropping like cooked chompies.
They do drop
which
cooked
is like kind
chompies.
of money, weirdly. Maybe not no more.
Yeah, kind of. Probably not anymore. But one thing is, if you're an iron, they do drop some kind of valuable stuff in the form of unfinished jewelry as well as already cut gems.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to allow players to use the Emberlight for the Treasure Trail step, requiring an arc light in the Catacombs of Corinth. That's kind of another no-brainer.
A funny note on this is people asked before this quest came out if this was going to be in the game, and they confirmed it would be.
They forgot.
The fact that it was forgot is
kind of funny.
Hilarious. There are going to be more things that they're not going to be able to commit to, but are going to be
some
on
conversations.
talking points in their coming meetings, and it's going to be looking at really just the overall aesthetic of Lucian. Like I said, and a lot of people said, this is supposed to be one of the most darkest, evilest, powerful mages, and he looks like a sunshine baby in his newest form, and looks really cool in his
so we might make him more emo?
latter years. Yeah, so they might make him look cooler.
Okay. Talking through feedback on Lady Knock's model. No spoilers there. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
It might need improvement.
I really want to start the quest tonight, but I haven't had time because I go to sleep early now.
They're also going to be reviewing some changes that they can make to the fight with the Dark Squall to improve its accessibility for colorblind players.
Good. Considering restoring some of the missing text from Moverio's notes about Dragonkin and Tormented Demons, so long as it lines up with our plans for OSRS's narrative.
And lastly, they're going to be reviewing the dialogue that was removed from the original version of the quest and reinstating or adjusting it as needed. Similarly, it goes into Dragonkin, stuff like that.
Just like cool lore things that they're like, this doesn't actually make sense anymore.
Yeah, like storyline stuff along the lines of the Majorat, the Stone of Yas, and the Dragonkin.
Cool. That's it, though. Yeah, there's even more likely to come, but this is what they're announcing for now, and they want some more. They want some more apologizing for postponing the stream last minute.
So now that we're done with the update, we can move on to the Gielinor Gazette.
Yeah. Okay. We've been on hiatus for a few months as we're busy behind the scenes working on a new format for this iconic monthly newspaper. Don't worry, we're still packed to the brim with all the content updates, developer insights, general silly billiness we all love in a new format. As of today, we will be cycling between the Gielinor Gazette and the Community Showcase each month.
We'll see how long this keeps up
instead of piling on all that info at once. We want the Gazette to feel impactful and bring you all the news you want to see, so we're saving them for when we have exciting insights to share. Yeah, to be fair, like some of the months, it's like, you didn't need to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have any July stuff that you want to submit to them, you can do so here if you have anything cool to show off.
This can be anything from art, achievements, or comments. Just send it in, or post bag letters if you so choose.
Yeah, cool.
There's a little blurb about Tormented Demons, so if you want to know a little bit about the behind the scenes with Mod Rice, he goes over his talks about getting challenged by, the D claws and stuff like that, how to overcome
the bone claws.
Converting this from a 2008 quest to now, so if you want to read about that.
I don't know how much we're just going through this. Should I just let you read it? I don't know if we're like fully zooming.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna go through it.
Okay, I'm not good at the zooming. I like reading everything, so you should do it.
It's just a lot of words in general.
It is a lot of words.
They also have another blurb about Deadman Armageddon with mods Mankt and Daizong. So if you are interested in PvP, they talk about the best parts of working on Deadman and stuff like that for them. Also, being able to test out and design new stuff that, they can maybe implement into the main game later, I think was probably the coolest part for me to hear about.
What I thought was really cool was they asked Mod Mankt what he enjoyed working on the most. The best part for me personally was designing Deadman content is being able to completely change the meta without requiring a poll.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
That must be such a relief for them to just be able to do what they want.
Honestly, I think they should continue to do stuff like that with Armageddon, with Deadman, and with Leagues. Like, they should be all like, oh, this would be cool in the game. Let's see if it actually works out in premise.
They're kind of doing that. I mean, they did that last year with Leagues. They had the ruinous powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so I think
fun.
They should continue that thing because it gives them kind of free reign. No one's going to be like, oh, why'd you put this in the League? Everyone's going to be like, all right, how do I work around this if it sucks? Or how do I work with this if it's good?
Ruinous powers was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was kind of shown to be too good. So it's good we didn't put it in the game. Besides that, though, they do show some of the really cool concept art for the Deadman rewards.
Yeah, I love concept art.
Yeah, it is a really cool black and red cape, skull cape for. It kind of looks like the LMS one, but just like more
More
plain. Actually,
reddish. Is Elements one red?
the LMS one has like it's like a black cape with a white skull and a crown, I think.
Okay, yeah. This one's more red. It's giving like Theater of Blood vibes.
Yeah, very Theater of Blood, very Darth Vader vibes. You can also get your edgiest rug if
Two
you'd like.
rugs. So one of the rugs has 16 skulls on it, just black with red fringe, and the other one's like black with red on the outside. It's kind of like an ombre going to the red. Actually looks really nice.
Yeah, they have little red tassels on the ends,
Yeah, it's
so
pretty.
you can, spruce up your house.
I like these.
Speaking of sprucing up your house, you can dye and spawn there in style if you'd like with this new dyeing animation.
Is that the dyeing or is it the telly?
I don't know. They
It's a
don't
new
say.
animation or something. I think it's the telly just because it's a character mocking someone, like kissing their muscles as they disappear.
Oh, yeah, no, this is definitely, teleporting.
Yeah, it's literally just like you mocking someone.
Yeah, so if
Which
you do
I
the
want this.
home teleport, we currently have the shattered relics ones where you get dragged down by souls. We have the speed running one where you run out of your shoes, and then we have this one now, which is you getting teleported into like a blood realm kind of.
Yeah, all the while mocking whoever's looking at you.
Yeah.
I want that one.
Yes.
I really want that
It
one.
looks really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of something that looks really cool, they have a brief talk about the new Varlamore group boss, the Rainbow Dragon.
I was like, are you going to try and say his name? The Huikoidal.
Yeah, that thing. So, Mod Squid and Jerv go into talking about the mechanics as well as aiming to capture the feeling of an escalating fight against a large and powerful creature as a group.
I love this design, man.
They do actually talk about the design and how it was inspired from things like Roman and Aztec and stuff, as well as Mesoamerican deities and also lions.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, so I'd recommend checking that out if you're interested in the upcoming boss.
It's going to look so cool.
Speaking of upcoming bosses, we have talks with Mod Arcane. So this is about Araxer.
Ooh.
So my favorite is the very first question. It says, Mod Arcane, any comments on Araxer?
Big spider.
Big spider. So if you want to know
Real and true.
a little bit about... actually, I mean, honestly, there's not a ton here, but
There's
I
a
thought
lot of goofy gooberness.
yeah, it was pretty goofy, so I'd recommend checking that out
Well,
if you're
there's
interested
one
in the
important
boss.
question. If Araxor wore pants, how would he wear it?
There's 3 different options, and Arcane said like this.
No, doesn't even specify. I think if Araxor wore pants, he would wear it on his 2 back legs like pants.
I think he would wear it on all of his legs, kind of
All
like
8
this.
legs?
Yeah, kind of like
Oh,
this.
and his butt, because one's just on the legs but not the butt.
No, yeah, sorry, and the butt.
Yeah, why are these like... I don't know if we could say the A word. They're like buttless chaps.
Yeah, because I mean, look at he has 2 little arms in the front, and then the rest are legs.
I like that. That's a funny question.
But yeah, so that's it. They also do have a bit of a survey.
We love surveys.
So go and fill it out if you so choose. There's actually 2. So there's a mobile feedback as well as a Jagex accounts feedback. So do that if you think it would, be good for you in the future, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. But that's it. They also give some more breakdowns on what you can submit for the community showcase at the very bottom if you're unclear on that.
Cool. That is it for our first Gielinor Gazette in 17 years. Can you believe it's been so long?
Gielinor Gazette. I also did a little bit more calculations for anyone interested.
Okay.
For the new bow. I wanted to get calculations because now it's actually in the DPS wiki, and my assumptions were pretty much confirmed in that it is better than the... it's actually right around the crystal bow. It's slightly worse than the crystal bow against regular mobs, but it's a little bit better... Actually, a lot better than the MSB if you're to use Black D'hide.
And if you're against demons too, surely. I think it's because your phone's locked.
Yeah.
He's trying to find a screenshot.
Well, my phone isn't locked. It's just being really dumb because I do have a picture that I took of it earlier. So, for instance, if you were to fight mobs that were demons, then actually the new bow is straight up better than the Bofa.
It better be against demons.
Yeah,
That's
it's
his
straight
whole
up
thing.
better. For example, the DPS against like Krill is what I simulated it as, and you have a slightly higher lead
Ooh.
with the new bow. That's in Black D'hide. If
Okay.
you were to wear full Masori with the new bow at Krill, it's straight up like 25 to 30% better than the Bofa.
Ooh.
And
I'm
you
interested.
can bind with the new bow too
I know, and
for
I hate doing
12
krill, so I
seconds.
really want that.
Yeah, 12 seconds on
I
Krill.
thought it
That's a
was,
long time.
oh, that was 20, but I'll take
Or
12.
no, I think you're
Or is that
right. I think you're right.
okay? Because I
20.
think it was like 5 seconds for normal, or for other players, or for normal, and then
Yeah.
20.
I was
I
thinking
think
20 ticks, but I think you're right. I think it is 20 seconds.
maybe.
Either way, it is very good at Krill,
Hmm.
and it kind of changes the meta for all of these weapons really change the meta for any demon mob in general, or demon task, really. So, yeah, I'd recommend checking it out. Also, you can wear the Slayer helm with this as opposed to the Crystal Armor, where you can't.
True, it's very annoying crystal armor. They have to wear crystal everything.
Yeah, exactly. So on Slayer task, this might just straight up be. Actually, I'm almost certain it is. It is probably just straight up better, even in Black D'hide.
Fancy! I'm excited about it.
Yeah, so pretty cool. It is obviously worse if you're not fighting demons, but it is not by a huge margin, but it is definitely worse.
Okay. Moving on to our Q&A now. I was looking at my phone trying to find it. I swear that someone asked me a question somewhere and I don't remember where they asked me, so I can't find it.
No one's ever asked you a question before.
Okay, anyway, I'll look for it again because the first question is actually directed towards you, Robert.
See?
Okay, so Matt said, this is more for Rob, I guess, because he makes more references to other games, which, fair. The only other games I play are mostly single player.
Loser.
What games have as many bots or more bots than OSRS does? Bots are currently making me very angry. I remember back in very, very early RuneScape, everyone used to talk while skilling. Now everyone's either bot or thinks you're a bot and doesn't chat, or watching Netflix or focus on efficiency. Yeah, I'm watching
True.
Netflix. I'm just not even looking.
True.
Okay, so what games?
Oh,
Lila.
my immediate reaction was almost any game that is easily available to Asian countries. And this is just because, World of Warcraft invented, the Chinese bot farmer. Like, straight up, they did.
Oh?
And by that, I mean, there's been so many bots from, like, specifically China or just, the greater Asia region um, in World of Warcraft that it's kind of like the mainstay for a lot of games, like a lot of gotcha games. They don't really have like Venezuelans the way that RuneScape does. I don't know why it is that way, but like I guess certain games just capture different audiences.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Venezuelans aren't bots, but they set up the bot farms, so that's kind of
Obviously,
yeah,
it's
that's
not a
kind of
country full of bots.
generally what I'm talking about in
Thank God
case
you specified.
anyone doesn't get that. But yeah, like it's just everything seems to be a lot more enhanced in games that are widely available to Chinese audience. And World of Warcraft used to have a Chinese branch, so they had easy availability. So that's why a lot of gotcha games you'll see, like Genshin Impact and stuff like that, easily you can set up phone bot farms a lot easier than computer bot farms usually. So um, I
Oh, is
think
that probably why?
yeah, like for those games, Genshin Impact's a mobile game, so that's a really big one. There's a lot of games that are extremely popular in Asia that you've never even heard of. So all of those games, but probably a game easily available to you and I, World of Warcraft would by far. I wouldn't even. They probably have more bots than we do people that play the game.
You think so?
I don't know about currently, but probably at some point or another, I wouldn't doubt it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Like
I didn't know it was like that.
I'm also kind of taking into account people that are playing the game against their own will and stuff like that, because I mean it's been proven that people in like Chinese prisons are forced to play and like get gold so that they can sell it for like the Chinese government. Like this is like
Are you serious?
yeah, this is I don't know how long ago this was, but this is like a known thing.
That's
So
really messed up.
well, I mean it's you're playing games in prison, so I guess it's
Just
probably
forcing people to do anything is messed
it's
up.
probably not like the worst job, I guess, but it's definitely something that happens. So I'm kind of including that in this like weird statistic, but
It's strange.
definitely those types of games, like I said, there's just not as many like, South American or Venezuelan people waking up and being like, I want to start a bot farm. It's just not easily as available there, it seems.
Okay.
So games that are available in China, World of Warcraft would be my answer.
Why do you think that they do it specifically in China then?
Just because it's really easy to set up and
Is
they've
it
been doing it for
to
a
make?
long time.
Is it like
Oh,
to make money?
yeah, they sell gold.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's just like they
that's
need the money.
yeah. No,
Okay.
I guess so, but also, I mean, I don't know. They sell the gold. I don't know if they need the money or if it's just extra money or it's just easy money. All
I'm just
three.
wondering, like, why specifically there as opposed to other places? Like, why isn't that more of a thing? Or maybe it is a big thing in the U.S. as well. And we just don't hear about it more.
Yeah, I mean,
In
I've
Venezuela,
heard of
everyone
it.
knows it's like to make extra money
Well, yeah.
or to
Well,
make
okay.
money.
Well, it's it's actually really popular in Europe as well in certain parts. It's really just wherever the US dollar is strong compared to their dollar. Because you can
Oh,
sell
okay.
gold for USD and 1 USD is worth many of their dollars, for
Okay.
example. So it's just easy money like
That
that.
answers my question because I was like, why regionally this
Yeah, because
place?
you're like, oh, you're selling like 100 mil for like, I don't know, let's say 20 bucks or something like that in like, RuneScape GP. You're like, that's a
Hmm.
lot. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of gold. But if you think about it, like, I don't know the conversions, but let's pretend $20 is like a decent day's pay for someone over there. They did that by playing games. So
I
it's
have no
like,
idea what the pay is
yeah, that's just an
anywhere.
example, but like, yeah, that might be a decent day's pay over there or maybe even more. Who
Or
knows?
money on the side.
But that's generally why bots exist in like countries where just the dollar's not as strong.
Okay. Next from Harger. What are the worst gaming communities? Which are the best? And where do OSRS and RuneScape fit in the scale of worst and best? Let's say best first. Best gaming community you've seen.
Best gaming community. Also,
Every gaming community is a little sus.
after thinking about it, I did want to go back a little bit and be like, I'm saying World of Warcraft, but it's probably a game like Lost Ark or something. Like, there's,
Oh, you think that they're botted? No, they are botted because then Holy's told me about people
yeah,
being
like,
botting in there.
I say WoW because it's like known for that,
Wait,
but
Lost Ark?
there's
Is that Ark?
no.
Never mind, it's a different game.
Lost
Ark
Ark.
also has bots.
Lost Ark is like a Korean game,
Oh,
but
never mind.
yeah, probably one of those games. Probably not WoW, but it probably once upon a time was.
Okay.
As far as this one,
I'm just going to say Animal Crossing is the best. Even in Animal Crossing, though, there's gross people. There's just gross people in every community, unfortunately.
yeah,
But I just remember, like, I used to do a lot of, like, giveaways in Animal Crossing and go to the Reddit. And I just remember it was really cute. This one time someone posted, like, they could have definitely just been lying to get free stuff, but whatever. They were like, oh, like, my nephew was, like, getting bullied or something. And, like, he lost his island, whatever. And everyone just went to the island and was just, like, dropping off free stuff for him. And it was really cute and wholesome. I went to the island and it was, like, hard to even drop anything. I think it just brought, like, random furniture I didn't want. But it was hard to drop anything because like so many people were just arriving to the island.
yeah,
It was just really cute and wholesome. And maybe they were lying, but that's okay.
true.
It still brought people together.
Okay.
Best community?
Best community in my experience, not by far, but recently, in recent times, in recent memory, by far, is Deep Rock Galactic.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a really big culture over there just to be like a homie.
Oh,
And
that's
like,
nice.
you just enter the game, and literally nine, maybe even higher than nine at times out of 10, the first thing you do and someone does back to you is press V, and V is like your character being like, yo, rock and stone, what's up, homie, to
Rock and
like the other
Stone.
person. So like immediately you're just like greeted by them.
Oh, that's so
um
cute.
there's not like a lot of like chatting in my experience. There is voice chat, but no one really uses it.
Honestly, I think that games with low chatting are more wholesome because it's when chatting people get toxic and
Yeah,
gross.
like usually it'll just be a mix of you pressing V and spamming the different forms of like heck yeah, we're doing this, and a combination of that and like using your like little gadget that points at things to tag things.
Cute.
So that game is really good. The subreddit was better, but since the game got more popular, it's not the best these days, or not as good as it once was.
Okay.
Less wholesome memes, more like, oh, how do I become an elitist god at this game or
Yeah.
something. Um, that's probably one of the best for sure, though. One of the worst, besides RuneScape, RuneScape. I've said this time again. I legitimately one of the worst communities.
I don't play any other games that have worse communities. RuneScape is the worst I've seen, but I don't have as much experience with like other gaming communities. So
Yeah.
mine's not as serious, but like I've had some bad experiences. Like I've mentioned many times, that person who PK'd me and then paid someone to try and like dox me and say racist stuff to get my Discord banned.
Yeah, it's weird because like it's different types of toxicity. Like in RuneScape, it is by far and away not even close the community that will do and go beyond the most reasonable lengths to harass someone.
I feel like the RuneScape community is most likely for someone to show up and just kill you.
Yeah, sure. That being said, people don't typically, in my experience, verbally harass you in RuneScape. So
They
like,
play psychological mind games.
yeah, there's like it's like a different kind of toxicity per game. For instance, in like Call of Duty or League of Legends to a lesser extent, you will just straight up get called the most obscene obscenities you've ever even imagined off rip.
And that like
So,
makes me not want to play those games.
and the reason is like all these games, I think all three of these games have in common is you can get into it for free
So it's just all kind of
over and over again. All you need is an
people.
email.
Ugh.
So that's why it's like the thing is like League to a lesser extent, because if you want to play with certain people, you got to be like rank 30 sometime, most of the time, you know, assuming your rank is like okay. So it's like chances are you're not going to go against a brand new account. So, but like Call of Duty, you can get into a lobby of like 300 dudes. The game's free, and they could be anywhere from like a weird old pedophile dude to like a young kid that just had to learn how to use the N word. So it's like
Ugh.
you get the full gambit in Call of Duty. So
I'm just not gonna play Call of Duty.
a combination of all three of those communities for different reasons.
Okay.
But also League of Legends is different because they won't just straight up harass you all the time. What they do, it's a thing in the game. It's called holding people hostage, because you can't quit a game of League of Legends without getting
Oh.
penalized unless 4 out of the 5 people are willing to surrender.
So
So
they'll just sit there.
if 2 people are there and either they don't like each other or they're in a group and they don't like you, they can just choose to keep you there as long as they want.
Until you just want to penalize
Unless
yourself.
you're willing to leave the game and get penalized for 5, 15, or days long.
Oh. That's so...
like I said, it's different types of toxicity.
That's some RuneScape psychological mind game
different
stuff.
types for different gaming communities. So it's really picking your poison on those 3 games. But
And while RuneScape can be toxic, obviously I've made a lot of friends from this game. So in general, it's good experiences, but the bad experiences are very noteworthy.
yeah,
They're not like casual bad. They're like still talk about 3 years later bad.
yeah, a big redeeming factor for me for RuneScape, just so I can say something good about it, is that you can play by yourself and just not talk to anyone ever. Which
Yeah.
the other games, you really, for the most part, can't.
Or the way that you do is you only turn on your clan chat, so it's only you and Alfresco talking.
Yep.
I've even messaged him and he doesn't
Yep.
see because he's only messaging Alfresco.
The only time I ever have the chats on is the clan chat or the game mechanics
Yeah,
chat.
so congrats Alfresco. You are the one and only homie that Robert will ever message on RuneScape.
Yep. And that's just way more enjoyable for me. So
Yeah, you could at least turn to friends chat so I'm there too, but...
no, I don't have any friends. You're the only friend that ever chats me.
Add Alfresco!
So, but if Alfresco chats me, it's in clan.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's it, I guess. So it's kind of unfortunate, but that's how it is.
Yeah. I do still love this game though.
I do
It's
have
annoying.
a surprise question.
Yeah, you said you had one.
This is a surprise question.
Because you guys didn't ask it.
Yes.
And if I did forget someone's question, can you please submit it again? I swear. I don't know if I'm just thinking of last week, the extra question, or what.
Yeah, she thought she saw a question on Spotify, but it's not there anymore, so
and
we
then
don't
I was
know.
like, maybe it's YouTube. I didn't see any. I don't know where it was.
Yeah.
Or if I'm making it up. I've been having vivid dreams.
And also, if we just in general don't see your question, feel free to ask it repeatedly. Unless we've answered it and you just haven't listened to
Yeah.
the episode, then we might just
Or
not
it's,
answer
like,
it or something.
highly inappropriate. In which case, I feel like we tell you we're not going to answer that.
Yeah. So this question I thought was interesting,
Okay.
especially because it got a actual response from Mod Kieran.
Ooh.
So this is from the Reddit user Lord555.
Mm-hmm.
They're an Iron Man apparently, and this was made 7 hours ago, so fairly fresh. Relatively popular post though, with around 500 votes. It says, maybe an unpopular opinion, but unique rates should be built around Iron Men.
Okay, elaborate, please.
They say that the title is pretty much it. Unique should not have rates based on grand exchange value,
Oh yeah.
but its place in the meta and how long on average it takes to obtain. For example, a 40 plus hour grind for a mid-level upgrade is not appropriate.
Honestly,
Referencing the Tormented Demons.
I agree. I actually agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be based around the price, just because I think that that's kind of weird, because the price is always going to be fluctuating. Like,
Yeah.
everything is expensive when it first comes out. You could have something that's like fairly common, and the first day it's going to be really expensive.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like you
Like,
expect
even-
things to be expensive and then go down
Yeah.
if their value is worse.
The Quetzin feed during like the Hunter rumors, those were like 500k the first day they came out. All you have to do is do a Hunter rumor.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Like, everything is all over the place. I don't think you should base it off the Grand Exchange. I was surprised actually when we read that they were like, we need to check the prices, and I'm like,
Yeah.
do you guys have prices in mind? I thought you guys, I don't know, maybe this is just like a me issue where I don't really think about the economy as a whole, but like, just it's funny to say, think of it as a whole, like it's a whole.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think they generally have an idea of how desired a unique might
Yeah,
be.
I just didn't even realize that came into their mind, which I guess makes sense, but
Yeah.
it's not something I considered. I think it should be more focused on time, personally.
The thing is, to give them the benefit of the doubt, I think balancing a mob's drops based on the value of a brand new unique is by far the most difficult part of balancing drops.
Probably.
As far as you can balance drops, that's the most difficult situation,
Mm-hmm.
just because it could have a weird interaction that makes it infinitely more expensive than you thought it would be because it's more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's essentially kind of what Mod Kieran says. They said that they also agree. This would be ideal.
Oh.
But it really just, they do go into it and expound for several paragraphs about the, premise of balancing things around price and about obtainability and, progression overall. And it really just comes down to them being able to balance things in such a way that the price actually ends up where they expected it to end up.
It's so funny that I never thought about how they must have expectations.
Yeah. That being said, they do say this, and I also agree with this point, that it's actually a lot easier to get it right if the regular loot is poor.
Oh.
AKA the regular loot is not really an incentive for people to be there, and I highly agree.
So kind of how the new one is.
I think there should be content that you go there for uniques, and then content that you go there for loot.
AKA Vorkath.
Yeah, exactly.
goes
You have
to-
the money
goes there for
dragon.
the
Like
unique.
for example, I was at Firewatches for a long time. For such a long time that they're kind of an outlier where they do give you a small bit of money.
But not
And
that
because there's
much.
so little inputs, I actually ended up making a profit. But that's the thing where, like, their drops aren't good except for the one drop. So, like,
Yeah.
that's a good example. Or any mod or mob that has, like, a really good drop, like Tormented Demons or Demonic Gorillas.
Yeah.
Their other drops aren't good.
You don't go there for it.
And
I
they're
think
still
that's
not
fair.
they're not a bad mob to go to.
You need some that are just good per money, and some are just, when you get the drop, you'll be screaming because you're so excited.
Yeah, like that's the reason that like people go to certain content and do them for money, is because if there was just one thing that was good at all of the things, then you would just go there all the time.
True, I think that's actually very fair.
Yeah.
Did you agree or disagree with the original post, by the way?
I
Should we base our
definitely
minds?
agree. Yeah,
Do you want to elaborate?
because I think it's kind of become a growing thing over the years that the rates seem to be a little disproportionate for most content.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean, like, take a look at DT2. The rates for those rings are obscene.
Like, they're good?
No, it takes so long. I've seen
I
so
thought they were good.
many
They're like 10128.
for the DT2 bosses.
I thought you said DKs, like Dagonoth King.
No, yeah,
Never mind.
no,
the DT2 are really hard.
the DK rings are fine. No, I was
yeah,
saying
I was like, I thought they were good.
DT2 as well as this one.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, 1 out of 1200. If each one takes 2 minutes to kill,
Mm-hmm.
that's
So-
2400 minutes just for an item that is actually not even that good.
Yeah. Just, all
We're
this stuff
talking
just
about
makes
the
me
claws, obviously.
kind of glad that I'm a main.
Yeah, so it's like, for me, this is a thing kind of designed for me that I'm actually just gonna go, hopefully get one synapse early, and then probably never go back.
Yeah.
Like, it's It's
I mean,
not.
they're gonna adjust it next week. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm purposely not going to it, because I do expect some changes, whether it be their loot and or their unique
Just
drops.
don't act like you have the requirements yet. Anyway,
I mean, it would be one quest away. It would be
500 quests.
It would take me less than an afternoon. But I'm not gonna. I'm putting it off purposely because I don't even want to begin looking at it until after next week's update.
It might be worth if you can, doing the quest before they potentially make it harder, though.
It's not. I've looked at the quest. I've read the guide. It's not a difficult quest.
Okay, but it might be later.
The boss fight's not difficult.
Don't spoil it because I haven't done it yet,
I'm
and
not.
I know nothing about it really, other than what we said here today.
And this isn't really a spoiler. It is a magic based boss, and magic is one of my highest ones. I'm
Well,
definitely
I
not.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not concerned.
Okay, well, bring my shadow. Don't
You-
say anything. Don't.
Okay.
I'm guessing I can't bring my shadow.
Bring your shadows, everyone. Bring them out, boys.
I'm assuming I can't bring my shadow, babe.
Bring out your shadows.
Why are you being weird? Don't tell me.
Bring out your dad.
Okay.
Shout out if you understand that reference.
I
Good
don't.
movie. Good movie. Michelle's never seen
Is
a movie
it Adam
before.
Sandler? Everything's Adam Sandler that you say.
Yo, she said, "Is that Adam
What is
Sandler?"
it? Bring out your dads?
Bring out your dad.
What is that from?
Adam Sandler.
Who is it?
All right. Thanks for listening to our Adam Sandler podcast.
It's not Adam Sandler. Don't stop scrolling.
I'm
You're gonna stop
not
it.
gonna stop it.
We can do
So
an outro.
hopefully you all enjoyed the pod. We had fun making it this time around. If you wanna,
Usually we don't.
if you want to keep up with anytime we come out with additional content or the next podcast, feel free to follow any of our socials.
Yeah, our TikTok and Twitter are Bunebapeosrs. Our Twitch, YouTube, and stream are all Bunebape. So I stream 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. Also, I'm thinking about how to celebrate 3 years affiliate in a few weeks. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I feel weird, like I'm not allowed to have a subathon since I have a job now, even though I think that's allowed.
Yep.
I don't know what to do.
So that's gonna be it. Thanks again for listening. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all.
Very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.